Which shop
The
exactly?
police officer asked, his voice sharp as a blade. Zainab's eyes darted frantically across the crowded Balogun Market street. Dozens of beauty supply shops lined both sides, all looking identical. Her hands trembled. Sweat poured down her face despite the evening breeze.
I
I think it's
I
that
think it's
one,
that one.
she stammered, pointing randomly. But there was no robbery. There was no friend's shop. There was only a lie. A lie that was about to cost her everything. 24 hours earlier, this hairstylist had thought she could steal an 850,000 naira wig and get away with it. She had crafted the perfect story about armed robbers and a tragic overnight theft. What she didn't know was that her customer was married to one of Lagos's top intelligence officers. And now, standing in that market with uniformed officers surrounding her, Zainab realized that greed had led her into a trap she could never escape. This is the story of how one woman's desperate desire to shine at Detty December parties destroyed everything she had built. The December sun beat down mercilessly on the streets of Lekki as Chioma stepped out of her car, carefully cradling a sleek white box in her arms. Inside that box was not just any wig. It was a Brazilian bone-straight 26-inch masterpiece that had cost her 850,000 naira, nearly $1,000 of pure, silky perfection. Detty December was in full swing, and Lagos was alive with anticipation. Every weekend promised parties, beach hangouts, weddings, and end-of-year celebrations. Chioma had saved for months to buy this wig, and she was determined to look absolutely stunning at every single event on her calendar. But there was a problem. The wig needed professional revival. After weeks of wear, it had lost some of its initial bounce and shine. It needed to be washed, deep conditioned, and styled to perfection. And that's why Chioma found herself standing outside Glam by Zainab, a popular hair salon in the heart of Victoria Island. Zainab, the Omer, was known for her magic touch with wigs and weaves. Her Instagram page boasted thousands of followers, with before and after pictures that made even the most skeptical customers become believers. Women traveled from Ajah to Acacia just to sit in her chair. "Chioma, my dear!" Zainab sang out as Chioma entered the salon, the cool blast of air conditioning a welcome relief from the Lagos heat. "Is this the famous wig I've been hearing about?" Chioma smiled, carefully placing the box on the styling counter. "Yes, Auntie Z. Please handle it like it's made of gold, because honestly, that's what it cost me." Zainab opened the box and her eyes widened. Even in its slightly worn state, the wig was magnificent. The hair was soft, the lace was barely detectable, and the length was enviable. As Zainab ran her fingers through the strands, something dark flickered in her eyes. Greed. She quickly masked it with a professional smile. "This is beautiful, Chioma, really beautiful. When do you need it back?" "I have a wedding next Saturday, so maybe Friday? That gives you a week." "Perfect. Don't worry, I'll make it look brand new. You'll turn heads at that wedding, I promise." As Chioma left the salon, handing over her precious wig with complete trust, she had no idea that Zainab was already planning something sinister. The hairstylist held the wig up to the light after Chioma drove away, imagining herself wearing it to her own December parties. "Why should Chioma have all the fun?" Zainab thought. "I style these expensive wigs every day, but I can never afford them myself. Just this once, just for December, what could possibly go wrong?" Everything could go wrong. 5 days later, Chioma's phone rang. "Hello, Chioma?" Zainab's voice sounded strained, almost tearful. "Yes, Auntie Z? Is my wig ready?" There was a pause, a long, suspicious pause. "Chioma, I don't know how to tell you this." Zainab's voice cracked. "Something terrible has happened." Chioma's heart dropped. What happened to my wig?" "I'm so sorry, my dear. Yesterday, I took your wig to my friend's beauty supply store in Balogun Market. She has better conditioning products, and I wanted to give your wig the best treatment possible. I left it there overnight because I had to rush home for an emergency." "Okay." Chioma's voice was tight with growing anxiety. "Last night, Chioma, the store was robbed. Armed robbers broke in and stole everything. Everything. Your wig was among the things they took." The line went silent. "Chioma, are you there?" "You took my wig to Balogun Market?" Chioma's voice was deadly calm. "And you left it there overnight?" "I'm so sorry, my dear. I was going to collect it this morning, but when I got there, the police were everywhere. The store owner is devastated. I'm devastated. Please, you have to understand, it was not my fault. These armed robbers—" "Where are you right now?" Chioma interrupted. I'm at home. I've been crying all morning. I even told my pastor about it." "What's your address? I'm coming over right now." Zainab hesitated. This wasn't part of her plan. She had expected to give this story over the phone, offered to pay in installments, which would conveniently never materialize, and eventually Chioma would give up. But a face-to-face meeting? Still, she had to commit to the lie now. "Okay, let me send it to you. But Chioma, please don't be too angry with me. I feel terrible already." What Zainab didn't know, what she couldn't have known, was that Chioma was not just any customer. Chioma was married to Chief Superintendent Emeka Okonkwo, one of the most respected intelligence officers in the Lagos State Police Command. As Chioma drove to Zainab's house in Surulere, she called her husband. "Emeka, I need to listen to something." "What's wrong?" His voice immediately shifted to alert mode. After 15 years of marriage, she knew that tone. Chioma explained the entire situation: the expensive wig, the supposed robbery at Balogun Market, the convenient overnight storage at a friend's shop. "Something doesn't add up," Chioma concluded. "Why would she take my wig to another store? Her salon has all the products she needs. And Balogun Market, that's a wholesale area. Why would she process my wig there?" Emeka was quiet for a moment. "You're right, the story has holes. Do you want me to look into it?" "Not yet. Let me talk to her first. But Emeka, be on standby. Something in my spirit tells me this woman is lying." "I'm always on standby for you. Call me if you need me."
Zainab lived in a modest flat in Surulere, but even from outside, Chioma could tell something was off. The woman who answered the door looked more nervous than devastated. Her eyes darted around, and she was wringing her hands like someone expecting bad news. "Chioma, thank you for coming. Please come in." Zainab's voice was overly eager, overly sympathetic. Inside, the small living room was tidy but unremarkable. Chioma sat down, her eyes scanning everything. She had learned from her husband that observation was key to uncovering lies. "So tell me everything," Chioma said calmly, "from the beginning." Zainab launched into her rehearsed story. She described the friend's shop in Balogun Market, the special conditioning treatment, the urgent family emergency that made her leave the wig overnight, and then the devastating news of the robbery in the morning. "I even went to the police station with my friend," Zainab added, really selling it now. "They're investigating, but you know how these things are in Lagos, once armed robbers strike." "What's your friend's name?" Chioma interrupted. Blessing Adeyemi." "And the name of her shop?" "Divine Beauty Supplies." "Which street in Balogun?" Zainab's confidence faltered. I think it's Oluwole Street? The market is so big and all the streets look the same." Chioma pulled out her phone. "Let me call my husband. Maybe he can help follow up with the police investigation." The color drained from Zainab's face. Your husband?" "Yes, he's with the Lagos State Police Command, Intelligence Unit. I'm sure he can fast-track this investigation and find out exactly what happened to my wig." Zainab began to fidget. Her hands trembled slightly as she reached for a glass of water. That's very kind, but I don't think we need to trouble him. These things take time and—" But Chioma was already on the phone. "Hello, darling?
Yes, I'm at the stylist's house now. Can you come over with some of your men? We need to go to Balogun Market to verify this robbery claim. Yes, she says it happened last night at a shop called Divine Beauty Supplies on Oluwole Street. Owner is Blessing Adeyemi. Okay, see you soon. Chioma ended the call and smiled sweetly at Zainab. They'll be here in 20 minutes. Then we can all go to the market together and sort this out properly. 20 minutes felt like 20 hours. Zainab excused herself 3 times to go to the bathroom. Each time, Chioma could hear her pacing, whispering frantically to herself. When she returned to the living room, her forehead was beaded with sweat, despite the ceiling fan spinning at full speed. Chioma, maybe this is too much trouble, Zainab tried again. Let's just say 50,000 naira per month. We don't need to involve the police. But you said there was a robbery. Don't you want them to catch the criminals? Yes, but you know Nigerian police. They might complicate things. They might even start suspecting innocent people. Chioma tilted her head. Are you an innocent person, Auntie Z? Before Zainab could answer, there was a firm knock on the door. Chief Superintendent Emeka Okonkwo stood there in plain clothes, but his presence commanded immediate respect. Behind him were 2 junior officers in uniform. Good afternoon. I'm CSP Okonkwo. My wife tells me there was a robbery. Zainab's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. Yes, I mean, it's not that serious. A robbery is always serious, madam, especially in a market like Balogun. We need to investigate immediately. He turned to his men. Get the car ready. Madam will direct us to the location. Now? Zainab's voice came out as a squeak. Yes, now. Crime investigations are time-sensitive. The longer we wait, the more the criminals cover their tracks. The drive to Balogun Market was silent and suffocating. Zainab sat in the back of the police vehicle, sandwiched between Chioma and one of the officers. Her entire body was rigid with fear. When they arrived at Oluwole Street, Emeka turned to her. Which shop exactly? Zainab's eyes scanned the busy street desperately. Dozens of beauty supply shops lined both sides, all looking identical with their colorful displays and shouting vendors.
I think it's that one.
I think it's that one, she pointed randomly. They walked to the shop. The owner, a middle-aged woman, looked up in surprise at the police presence. Good afternoon. Are you Blessing Adeyemi? No, I'm Mama Tolu. I've owned this shop for 12 years. Emeka turned to Zainab. Wrong shop? Maybe it's further down. They tried 3 more shops. None of them were called Divine Beauty Supplies. None of them had an owner named Blessing Adeyemi. And most importantly, none of them had been robbed the night before. The officers began asking questions of other shop owners. Had there been a robbery in the market last night? Anyone heard anything suspicious? No. The market grapevine was strong. If there had been a robbery, especially involving armed robbers, everyone would have known about it by morning.
Emeka's patience was wearing thin. He turned to Zainab with the full weight of his authority. Madam, I'm going to ask you one more time. Where is this shop? Because it's becoming very clear that there was no robbery here last night. Zainab's knees buckled. She grabbed onto a nearby table for support, tears streaming down her face. But these were real tears now, tears of fear, shame, and desperation. Please, she sobbed. Please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? Chioma's voice was ice cold. The wig is at my house. I took it home. I was going to wear it to a party tomorrow night. I was going to return it after Detty December, I swear. I just wanted to feel beautiful too. I just wanted to attend parties looking like my customers for once. The confession hung in the air like a bad smell. Back at Zainab's flat, she retrieved the wig from its hiding place, wrapped carefully in her bedroom closet, looking as pristine as the day Chioma had brought it in. I didn't even wear it yet, Zainab whispered, handing it over with shaking hands. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Emeka shook his head in disgust.
What came over you is called greed. You see something beautiful that belongs to someone else, and instead of working hard to get your own, you decide to steal and lie. Are you going to arrest me? Zainab's voice was small, childlike. Chioma looked at the wig in her hands, then at the broken woman before her. Do you know what this wig cost me, Auntie Z? 850,000 naira, Zainab whispered. Do you know how many months I saved for it? Do you know how many parties I skipped? How many times I said no to eating out? How many sacrifices I made? I'm sorry. And you wanted to steal it, not borrow it, steal it. And then you created this elaborate lie about a robbery, making me believe that criminals had taken something precious from me. Zainab dropped to her knees. Please, I'm begging you. I have children. If I'm arrested, who will take care of them? Emeka's voice was stern. You should have thought about your children before you decided to become a thief. Stealing from a customer who trusted you? That's the lowest form of betrayal. But Chioma raised her hand. Emeka, wait. She looked down at Zainab, seeing not just a thief, but a woman trapped by her own greed and insecurity. A woman who let envy poison her mind during the festive season when everyone seemed to be living their best lives. I'm not going to press charges, Chioma said quietly. Zainab's head snapped up, hope flooding her face. But, Chioma continued firmly, you're going to compensate me for the emotional distress you've caused. 200,000 naira, not in installments. You have 1 week. And, Emeka added, you're going to close your salon for 3 months. Word will spread about what you did. Let that be your punishment. Maybe you'll learn that shortcuts and greed lead to destruction. Zainab nodded frantically, relief and shame warring on her face. Yes, yes, thank you so much. I promise I'll never— You promise? Chioma's voice cut through her rambling. Your promises mean nothing, Auntie Z, but consequences? Consequences mean everything.
As the December sun set over Lagos, casting golden light over the busy streets and preparing the city for another night of parties and celebration, Chioma sat in her living room with her husband, the expensive wig safely back in her possession. You were merciful today, Emeka observed. I was just, Chioma corrected. There's a difference. She thought about Zainab, a talented hairstylist who had let greed destroy her reputation and nearly destroy her freedom, all for 1 night of borrowed beauty at someone else's expense. You know what the saddest part is? Chioma said. She could have saved her own money. She could have worked extra hours during Detty December when everyone needs a hairstylist. She could have built her own empire, but instead she wanted to steal mine. That's what greed does. It makes you believe that taking is easier than earning. The story of the greedy hairstylist spread through Lagos like wildfire. Other stylists learned from it. Customers became more cautious. And Zainab? She closed her salon as promised, spending 3 months reflecting on how 1 moment of greed had cost her everything she had built. When she reopened, she was different, humbler, more grateful, and she never, ever looked at a customer's wig with envy again, because she had learned the hardest lesson of all. What you covet and try to steal will cost you far more than what you could have earned through honest work. Greed promises you everything, but delivers nothing but shame, loss, and regret. And in the end, no wig, no matter how expensive, is worth the price of your integrity. This tale reminds us that during seasons of celebration and abundance, it's easy to compare ourselves to others and want what they have. But true wealth comes not from stealing what belongs to others, but from building what belongs to you. Greed sees shortcuts. Wisdom sees the long road. Greed wants to take. Wisdom wants to earn. Greed destroys. Wisdom builds. Choose wisdom, always.